Whenever you're ready. So today we are actually going to have, my name is Kayla. I am the founder of Connecting Pieces. We are going to be launching our Nourish and Flourish cooking show tonight with Denise instead of Chef AJ. Chef AJ unfortunately couldn't do some protein and smoothies that he originally had suggested, but instead we have Chef Denise here to come on in and share some amazing recipes. So, Denise, I will give you the floor.
Hi, everyone. I am Denise. So a little bit about myself. I am first generation. I love to cook. Honestly, I've been cooking since I was like 12 years old. I worked with some restaurants, but I'm not saying that I'm a perfect chef, but I know how to make anything. I can turn something so small turn into anything. But in general, we always trying to eat healthy at home. And because obviously we have a family member who has Crohn's, we always try to support her in that area and always try to educate ourselves and, just in general, just try to figure out how we can help her and support her. So I came up with three different smoothies. Every single ingredient that I added, I think that it's three ingredients that definitely needs to be used in general. But in for someone that is dealing with Crohn's disease, it's definitely something that they should keep in mind to use in any other meal. So the first one that I'm gonna be doing is, and I'm named it Dragon Girls. So I named it Dragon Girls because it's made with dragon fruit. The reason why I chose dragon fruit is because majority of the time when we go anywhere to eat or if we see a smoothie and uh, we're thirsty or something like that, the girls usually get something with dragon fruit. It has coconut milk, yogurt, pineapple, honey, and cinnamon. So cinnamon is definitely something that everyone wants to use, needs to use because it's a very, very good element. Um, Honey, not everyone can have honey, but for those that are vegan, there are options. Pineapple is very good to use as well. Then there's a second one. There were some other ones that I also wanted to knock out the park, but we're not gonna have enough time. So the second one would be the sweet potato pie smoothie. So I'm really into October. Um, Honestly, it's one of my favorite months. My daughter's month is her birthday month is on October. My sister, also the one that has Crohn's, is in October. So I'm very festive. So sweet potato pie, almond milk, sunflower. I gave it an option. Maybe almond butter would be good. Nutmeg, cinnamon, vanilla extract, syrup, and some honey. Again, and that's optional. Another one that I included was the peanut butter and banana smoothie. So the banana one I really, really love compared to the sweet potato pie, but everybody's different. It's almost the same concept. We're just gonna add coconut milk, and I did include the recipe to Kayla. So if you guys just wanna steal some of the recipes on the chat, you guys more than welcome to do so. And if we have more time, we can go over the immunity shots that we do at home. So I have a Marine at home and he needs his immunity shots. This is a big deal for us, like on a daily basis. So yeah. Anything else you guys want me to elaborate on?
Denise, if you can walk us through the first smoothie, that would be great. Are you going to be doing some live prepping for us so we can see how maybe you might blend or what inspired this sort of tropical combination for you?
So I'm honestly a foodie, so everything inspires me. Um, I love dragon fruit, and I don't know why I thought about dragon fruit to be the first one, but um, everything inspires me, honestly. Anything that I eat, if I have a good idea, then I'm just like, okay, we can implement that in our diet or try to figure out how to healthy way to kind of manipulate it. Um, I'm from Puerto Rico, So, you know, we need something cold and fresh all the time besides cocoa. But dragon fruit's it for me. And so I did a little one here. It's put it in a mason jar. My son started drinking some of it. I was telling Kayla. So I don't know if you guys can see. Let me know if I need to turn my camera.
So far, so good.
Yeah, that's
Or
perfect. Yeah. Love the color.
so I'm gonna brainstorm some more, but I want to figure out what would be a nice garnish for this. I don't want to make it too confusing. But again, this has dragon fruit, coconuts here. I don't want to get too.
Now, how can people find or prep it easily? Fresh versus frozen with the dragon fruit and all the other fruits as well.
Yeah, so for the dragon fruit, honestly, if you buy the fruit fresh, you can just, and mind you, there's two different dragon fruits. So there's the white one and then there's the red one. The red one's the pink one. Pink one's a little harder to find and it's going to be a little bit more expensive. But if you look at the dragon fruit and you look between, like there's a little cork on the end, on the, what is it, left or right? Either or. If you look at the cork, you can tell what color it is. If it's pink, that's my favorite. It has more sweet and it has some real juice. The other one, it's the same thing, but it's just you need to add, in my opinion, a little bit more sugar. But if you buy frozen, it's a lot easier, honestly. If you get the fresh fruit, you can just cut it up, freeze it. It'll be just the same way.
Now, how does the cinnamon balance out the flavor or the sugar content in the smoothie?
How does the cinnamon balance out? So the cinnamon, honestly, the properties that it has. So cinnamon in general is good for like inflammation, you know, including like ginger. Those are the two ingredients that really help um with like inflammation. So it does like cinnamon, like say if you're cooking something, you add dragon fruit and it not even just dragon fruit, but in general, if something's salty and you add a little cinnamon, it balances. I don't know how to explain it, but cinnamon is definitely an element that you would want to use in anything. And you can't destroy a meal with that. Unless you like just dump the whole thing in there. You just need a sprinkle of it and that's it.
Love that. Love that. Thank you. And now, a lot of our patients or a lot of our attendees, or sometimes just people in general, right? We have busy lives. Sometimes we want to plan ahead or we want to, meal prep, whatever the case may be.
Mhm.
Um, can the smoothie be made ahead and also can it be stored for later?
I think so, yeah, for sure. If someone's doing it correctly, for sure. But like I said, you can't mess that up. If you buy it frozen or if you buy the fruit and you cut it up, you clean it, you do everything that you have to do, it can definitely be stored. I wouldn't store it up to like no more than 3 to 5 days, honestly. You really want to enjoy the fruit at its best the moment you cut it. But
Awesome.
yeah, yeah.
Thank you, chef. And now you were talking about toppings. You have presentation ideas. I know you guys as chefs, presentation is the chef's kiss, right? To your creation. What are some ideas that we could
Mhm.
maybe fluff up our presentation to our smoothies
Right.
and make it feel special?
That's where you guys come in. The inspiration needs to come from the audience too. You know, some people it's you always have to allow people to give their creativity as well. You know, some people might see me like putting a strawberry and they'll be like, but why are you putting a strawberry? It has nothing to do with a strawberry. You know, like what can we do? That's that's where I want to learn more about because creativity comes from different angles. We
I love
can
that.
put a little sprinkle of cinnamon. It might work, yeah, but
So you're thinking more outside the box here, chef. Not a traditional topping of,
right.
maybe like who can have whipped cream or, like the
Mhm.
basic toppings. You're thinking something special. And I love that because when it comes to people who are gut compromised or have, gut issues, those little small details mean so much to us. So I
Yeah.
really appreciate that and that you're considering our input as well. For myself, I think for this smoothie, what I would top it with, I would just take some dairy-free whipped cream, like I mentioned, and
Mhm.
which is
Yeah.
my favorite, and just top it off with that, or maybe like I think when we were off camera talking a bit about the honey, just adding a bit more of a splash of honey for me just for color. Those are probably toppings that I would do, but I'd love to hear from the crowd, or later on for when people watch off camera. But
A great idea. I think it's a great idea. And honestly, you're reading my mind in a way because earlier I was thinking the same thing. I have whipped cream, but I didn't want to give you guys like all whipped cream. And I think that we can definitely whip up whipped cream, but with like coconut, cream of coconut. So if we was to whip up cream in the blender, whisking it and whisking it, the cream of coconut will eventually turn into whipped cream. So then if we put the whipped cream on top and then drizzle the cinnamon garnish,
chef's kiss, as we mentioned. Thank you, Chef Denise. Now,
teamwork.
moving on to
All right.
smoothie number 2, I would
Yeah.
love to chat about sweet potato pie because when you said sweet potato pie, I
Mhm.
was just like, huh? I've
Yeah.
never just thought of
I
a
know you're
sweet
like,
potato smoothie. Yes. So tell me this concept. Where did you come with it and the flavors? What inspired it?
So the sweet potato pie, another one I love. But the sweet potato pie, like I said, it's October. Um, is I think about October, I think about sweet potato pie, I think about pumpkin, which was gonna be one of them that I was gonna be doing today, but it would have been a little bit complicating. But if we was to do pumpkin, it would be the same exact ingredients. The only thing with sweet potato pie, it doesn't have like the crust. Maybe now that I think about it, we can add that as a garnish future.
There you
But
go, chef.
yeah, no, so sweet potato pie, I love sweet potato pie. You can put that in anything. Sweet potato, you can literally throw sweet potato in anything. Beans, which is high, it's really good. Excuse me. Fiber and not everybody can have it, so we gotta be a little careful with that. But in general, I don't know who doesn't like sweet potato pie. Actually, my grandmother didn't like sweet potato pie, and she was very skeptical about it.
Now, does
But
it matter if you use white or orange sweet potatoes? Also, are we going frozen with this? Walk us through the
mhm,
process.
yeah. So the way I do it, everybody's different. The sweet potato, I would definitely, they should be at the supermarket next to the yams. Two different vegetables, but do not blend them raw. My opinion, I'm not discouraging anyone not to do it, but I wouldn't do it that way. I would definitely boil them first, cook it, make sure they're very, very soft, blend them, and then add your ingredients. Now, they're not that expensive, but it depends on where you shop, honestly. And there's organic, I don't see the difference, honestly.
Now, what's the best way that you think can make it smooth or creamy? Because sweet potato has, sometimes it can be stringy, it can be a bit thick. So,
Mhm.
what would make it a bit smoother or even a bit more gut friendly for people who can't do too well with textures like that?
Yeah. No, and that's why I boil them because they really shouldn't be stringy. You see a stringy sweet potato, I think you need to throw it back in the boil and boil them. But the way I would do it, there has to be some sort of fat to perfectly blend your sweet potato. It can be of your choice, olive oil, it can be avocado. If you prefer to just not boil, if you don't want to boil it, then you can throw it in the oven and because that's actually how it gets stringy. If you throw it in the oven, it gets like it becomes like you can start seeing the internal properties inside the potato. So I would definitely boil them. Remember, yams and sweet potato, two different, they're cousins, but they're not the same.
Can
Fat, fat. Put some fat in there.
can this be a warm smoothie, latte style for colder months?
Mhm.
What are your suggestions?
Yeah, it can be cold, hot, it can be tea. Now that's where you're gonna have to buy some like the proper tools to make it not so pasty, but like dry up the vegetable. But we'll work on that later when I perfect that. I don't even wanna get you guys excited about that. But you can drink it honestly any kind of way. I prefer it hot.
Now,
It's a
I love
cozy meal.
I love that you're giving us both options, right? Warm and cold. Can we see also a visual of the sweet potato
Oh
smoothie,
yeah.
what it looks like, but also now you mentioned that there's cinnamon and nutmeg, right? We
Yeah.
know that nutmeg and cinnamon support digestion,
Mhm.
but can you walk us through a bit more on that? The choice of them. Do you really think that the cinnamon and nutmeg enhance the flavor of the smoothie? Yeah, let us know. What are your thoughts, Chef?
So from what I've learned, we're technically not supposed to be eating that much nutmeg. So let's not get too excited about that. But there is some sort of power there for our body. I forgot wise words. There was like an inspirational speaker that actually taught me that. I forgot exactly what he said to me, but nutmeg and cinnamon, it's like hard to leave the two out. Now they work best together, but if you just use nutmeg, you would only figure out that you're missing the partner, which is the cinnamon. So
Yes.
to be honest, like everything that I make that has to do with holiday, it includes nutmeg and cinnamon. Now, I'm open to find out if that's a lie because I've yet to try a sweet potato pie that does not have nutmeg. But in general, I don't see that's a good thing to actually look up because I don't see that nutmeg is a bad factor, but everyone's body is different. So I can't speak for everybody.
They do balance each other. You 100% are correct. Cinnamon and nutmeg do work each other and balance each other and enhance their properties in digestion. Absolutely. So you are 100% correct, chef.
It's actually something very good to actually like to talk about more often because some people actually can't have nutmeg and you can't consume a lot of it. So it's like when on social media, when people were taking a spoonful of nutmeg and they coughed up everything because it clogs their airway. So it's just a dash. You cannot be going crazy.
Yes, nutmeg is no joke. If if someone wants to add maybe some higher protein in this smoothie, what could they add to make it a bit more higher in calories?
Higher in calories.
Yes, or protein,
Um,
or either or.
banana. I would
Yeah.
add banana. Um, nuts, but it depends if people can even tolerate or if they have an allergy. Now, if you do have an allergy, there's always sunflower nuts that you can use, which is what I send my daughter with to school because there are kids that have nut allergy. And believe it or not, you would not know the difference. So sunflower it is so good. I wish I knew sooner.
That was actually going to be my next question. Is it that the smoothie is too thick where peanut butter or sunflower, would that be an option to add as well? But also, is it too sweet that it would be, too much?
No, I think, well, it depends. It would not be sweet at all. The peanut butter kind of like is the star of the party. So you definitely want to use more of the almond milk because it is, let me see if I have. So actually, it is a little thick, but it's not as thick where it's becoming pasty like a peanut butter when you scoop it out the jar. So you have to use some sort of fat, which is what I mentioned earlier, coconut or almond, anything lactose, stuff like that, that wouldn't irritate the stomach so much. But a good protein would definitely, my opinion, I would add a banana.
Thank you for that, Chef. Can we get a live tasting from you
Yeah.
real quick before we move on to the next
Yeah.
smoothie? Can we just see your reaction at this amazing sweet potato smoothie?
So how much time do we have?
We have 10 minutes. So we can
Okay.
continue on with like questions, but I just want to see you taste the smoothie right now, just to see
Oh,
your reaction. Yeah. Yes, model that smoothie, Chef. Let's see. Yes. Thank you so much. Yeah, see, okay, so
oh,
I'm
and
envisioning something a lot thicker, which is also why I wanted to see.
yeah, no, and the way actually I was going to show you guys was the whipped cream with pecan and actually where is it? No, I'm gonna add this no more. But I added, so just to just put your imagination together. So whipped cream, there's pecan, walnuts, and hazelnuts. And they're cut very, very small, but that's optional because obviously a lot of people can't have nuts. And that would just be the garnish on top of the whipped cream.
Love that. Love that, Chef. Now, moving on to our last smoothie. We've got peanut butter banana, the OG of smoothies.
Mhm.
Now, this one's a classic. What makes it timeless for you?
For which, give me a second, I'm sorry. Which one makes it timeless?
Yes, what makes this peanut butter smoothie basically so special? The combo that you had come up with, what about it made you, decide to use it?
Mhm. It's a good question. I don't know. I think it's just from my own to my own liking, probably because like when you eat a peanut butter and jelly, um, honestly, when you wake up and you want to go work out and you want some protein, you have a peanut butter, right? You'll, I mean, not everyone, but you'll have a peanut butter sandwich, and the best thing to add is like slices of banana on top, and you just run with it. You go. If you don't have bread, then you're just scooping peanut butter and you're putting it on a banana. So it's like it was just something that like you just can't mess up. You can't unless you don't like peanut butter. But you don't need peanut butter. You can go with sunflower seeds. Is hard, but that smoothie in general is a lot thicker than the sweet potato pie because the sweet potato is very, very light. It's softer. Um, there's no consequence to the peanut butter and banana smoothie unless you're allergic to peanut butter.
Now, for healthy swaps, right, for peanut butter, because as you mentioned, we got a question in the comments about nut butter. I was gonna ask about almond butter, sunflower seed butter, tahini. Even I know some people like to use tahini in their cases. What do you think about those as healthy swaps and calorie wise as well? What are your thoughts on that as well?
Tahini, I don't know. I've actually that's interesting because I've never heard that before. And that brings like a whole different flavor. to the
Right.
table.
Right. I thought the same thing. But yes, tahini is for me as like a patient, healthier last resort sort of option.
Mhm.
I always try to stick with sunflower. I'm a peanut butter lover, so and it doesn't irritate me. I have tried almond butter and sunflower seed butter. And then I've just seen other people substitute with tahini and I haven't tried it, but I heard it again, like what you said, it brings a different flavor. But I do know
Oh,
just for like calories, people have thought of that and the fiber side as well.
I'll keep that in mind. I actually never thought of that. It's different.
Now,
I like it a lot.
Now we're talking about healthy swaps, fresh. We've talked about frozen as well. Now, what do you
Mhm.
suggest on the banana side here? I'm a firm believer. I'm a frozen banana lover, but what I like to do in my house is when I start to see them go bad, I put them in a freezer
Yeah.
bag and put them in the freezer. So technically, I still see it in my head as being fresh. Um,
No,
but
you're doing the right thing for sure.
what are your thoughts versus frozen bananas and, fresh?
So frozen, it depends how you store them. You can't just assume that because you're freezing them, you're not. You're storing them and they're fine for now. You know, they're gonna be okay to eat a month later. I mean, actually, if you do store them, yes, they can last that long, but there's so many different ways you can store them and make sure that it lasts for a long period of time. Now, when it comes to fresh and you've had them for a long period of time, just be prepared to see those little bugs flying around and enjoy. They're gonna be the ones enjoying the banana. You're not gonna really get to enjoy them. Now, when they do get ripe and you see them with when you see specks on them, that's actually the best time to eat them. And you can turn it into anything. So it's sweeter. There's so much like vitamins inside. You can turn that into banana bread. Actually, maybe banana, honestly, don't even get me brainstorming there, but like when it's ripe like that, it doesn't mean that it's bad. But for us Hispanics, yeah, like our parents would throw that out very fast. So I recommend honestly to your banana, if you don't plan on getting to them, freeze them. It's really gonna like help you out in the long run and be sustainable financially. Now, if you're getting rid of your fruits, best thing to do is freeze them because you're wasting at this point.
How,
And another thing, excuse me,
no, no, you're good.
sorry, I'm gonna cut you off. Don't forget too, like, a little acidity before you freeze them also helps them last longer in the freezer or outside.
Yes, amazing tip, chef. Thank you. I always forget about that little tip.
Yeah, so sometimes when you're on the run, it's hard.
Which liquid base do you think works best in the smoothie? And I'm speaking on oat milk, almond milk. Could we go with a water base in the sense of like coconut water? Um, what do you think works best?
When it comes to a smoothie,
When it comes to this specific peanut butter banana one,
so I honestly think almond milk works best. Um, it needs some sort of fat, almond milk, or it could just go with water as well. You don't need to break your head too much on that.
thank you. Thank you for that.
Or oat milk as well. We can't knock out oat milk.
Agreed. Agreed. Yeah, the oat milk is another one that I'm a fan of as well. And we were talking about garnishes before, and how can people maybe spiff this peanut butter banana smoothie up? Like, what are some spices or other things that you might suggest that people could have fun with it and add in?
Yeah. So now that we're in October, that's something good to talk about. Uh so I think cinnamon is always gonna come number one for me. cinnamon, pumpkin spice, maybe. Pumpkin spice is good to keep in mind. A little bit of syrup, but for those that are vegan, they don't need to rely on like they don't need to break their beliefs either. Like, you can go and resort to agave. You can pick something else. So agave, honey, anything between those two. Cinnamon, butter, and what's another one? Oh, brown sugar. Brown sugar. Yep, I almost forgot that one, but that's another one. Brown sugar, I don't think it's that bad, but if you really want to be on the healthier side, you don't really want to rely on brown sugar too much. You should really start trying to like focus your way towards the sugar, the raw that they have now. That's a healthier choice. And you can still use the other options as well, but I would stay away from white sugar for sure.
Thank you for that. And we have Chris in the comments saying his brown sugar is built in. Love that, Chris.
I know,
Now,
no, I
w-
know.
w- we're just about time for the smoothies. We didn't get to our wellness shots, but that's okay.
Yeah.
Um, we will maybe do another segment on wellness shots with you. We would love to continue the talk on that.
Yeah.
But before we close out, I just want to ask, what's one takeaway that you would love people to remember about these smoothies?
What's one takeaway to remember about these smoothies? So these smoothies are all gut friendly. You can't fail, honestly, unless you don't, if you're being extremely picky on a specific ingredient, you can't mess this up. So like I really think that everyone should adopt these practices in general. I love that what you guys are doing. You guys are definitely spreading awareness to everyone. And at the end of the day, the resources are here. And I'm not saying that this works for everyone, but this is definitely an opportunity for people to start learning about how to really start consuming a little bit better and learn how to work with what they have. I understand that the resources today is becoming a lot more difficult to come across, but in general, we definitely need to start thinking about what we eat and how we make our things. So I love what you guys are doing, and I'm here to support anyone that needs the help in general. And I'm open to learn from you guys too. So any kind of ideas, spread them this way.
Thank you for that, Chef. We really appreciate it. And we really appreciate your time.
Yeah.
I appreciate these smoothies stepping in last minute, coming in with these amazing recipes for us. One
Yeah.
last thing for the people. How can we, reach out to you, contact you if they have any questions?
Yeah.
Um, how can we get a hold of you, Chef?
Yeah, no, that's awesome. So I do have my own personal account. I'm not really on social media, but I am getting better at it because I am going to school for marketing, so I do need to stick my head out there. But if you do want to contact me, you definitely can find me on Instagram. I can I can actually give you that information, Kayla, and you can
Sure.
pass it forward. But for those, honestly, I'm here for you guys. You guys, even if it's not with smoothies and you guys trying to eat better and try to figure out what to make for dinner that day. Once Kayla just put it puts it on this, what is it called? On the chat, she can send you guys my information. You guys can just reach out to me and be like, hey, I'm lost. I need ideas, and I got you.
Yes, if you can add your social media name in the chat too for anyone
Yeah.
who wants it. Thank you
Mhm.
again, Chef Denise.
Yeah.
Thank you all who joined tonight. We really appreciate your time. Remember, every ingredient is an act of care. Nourish your
Mhm.
body and let it flourish. Make sure to join us next month with Chef Jasenia in November, and we will see you all soon. Have a good night.
Thank you guys. Good night.
Have a great night.
Bye.
Bye. Good night.